There could be some relief in sight for Colorado's crumbling roads and highways. A transportation funding bill has passed the Senate. Now, it still has to make its way through the House, and that may not be as easy as it sounds. And Blair Miller of the DenverChannel.com joins us now. You cover the legislature in detail. This one is not so easy because it's not exactly what House leaders had in mind, right?
No, it's not. And I mean, the Senate bill came together on a deal from Rachel Zenzinger, who's a Democrat, but whether or not it has the same chances in the House after passing unanimously as the Senate, it's really up in the air here. The House leaders actually, when they passed the budget this week, they put basically a rider bill, an appropriation for $495 million, which is about the same amount that the Senate bill contains, in case the House does decide to kill Senate Bill 1. So I think they're sort of lining that up to probably happen, and then that's going to set up the same fight that we've seen for the past 2 months over this transportation money.
Yeah, because constituents are so fed up with our, I mean, that's the one thing that we hear from everybody, right?
Right. I mean, it's
transportation.
Both sides want to fix this, and both sides have been putting forth various proposals and working with this, and I think that the deal in the Senate, I guess for Democrats, probably they thought that this was, okay, here's the way forward. Republicans very happy about that. But we'll see what happens in the House. I think we're definitely going to see some changes.
Yeah, I know you'll be watching that. All right, Cambridge Analytica has been making the news big time, not just here in Colorado, but elsewhere. What's the status here in terms of how this has affected Colorado voters?
Well, we saw an update earlier this week, basically, from Channel 4 News out of the United Kingdom. They were in Colorado, spoke with several of the people in Colorado whose names and psychographic profiles are still floating around. They said from their source that there's 136,000 people in Colorado whose data is still out there. Now, we went and talked to the Senate Majority Fund leader from the time, and he said that, we never had this information in the first place, and we don't have it now, saying, this isn't us, we don't have this stuff. They said Cambridge was really guarded with their information, and so it's kind of up in the air as to who has this information still. Obviously, Channel 4's source does, but they say that there was copies made back then, and we're still trying to figure out where these copies are, who has them.
And is there any way to know whose name is on that?
Well, I mean, if you have the list, I think there is. Yeah. We don't have that list yet. But, 136,000 Coloradans, that's a significant part of the voting population here. So I think, it's fairly safe to say there's a good chance that if you are a Colorado voter and we're here in 2014, that there's probably a 1/3 chance that you're on that list.
Yeah, that is not at all what anybody wants to hear, right? No. All right, cyberware attacks, we keep hearing about them. CDOT's been dealing with one for a couple of weeks now. And then Atlanta most recently. Where is this going? Right,
well, CDOT officials are telling us that their ransomware attacks are about 80% cleared up. Still a few more things to go through, I guess, there. It's really affected the contract workers for CDOT more than anybody else there. But, the attack in Atlanta, the recent attack last weekend over in Baltimore, it just raises the issue of how easy is it for people to penetrate our local government software? What is at stake here? And it's sort of, our government officials taking the necessary steps to protect all of our state from this sort of thing. Because we had, in Atlanta, there's people filling out police reports, calling landlines on dispatch, things that we haven't done in at least 20 years now. And so as we see technology take over our world, we're also seeing these threats become an imminent thing every day.
Where does it stop? All right, Blair Miller of the DenverChannel.com. Thank you so much. Now, if you ever have a question or a segment idea for us, just tweet us anytime at Denver7Politics. And don't forget, you can watch today's segments anytime at thedenverchannel.com/Politics Unplugged. So thank you so much for joining us. We will see you back here next Sunday.